on the East Coast. Tonight's show isn't. We just went live. All right. And we're live. I'm Spencer Fowler.
And I'm Mike Grosso. And this is Matt Ovington. And for obvious reasons, we're not in our usual home of Studio A at Hofstra University, but we're making do with what we have to bring you some awesome content here tonight. We're also joined by one of our associate producers, Matt, to help facilitate the online conversation with you guys.
Streaming live to Facebook and YouTube from various spots on the East Coast, tonight's show isn't the normal deal. We're here to talk briefly about the situation at hand and how it's affecting Hofstra's media students. What are we doing now that we're in self-isolation? How are we handling being away from our craft?
Tonight we're going to be talking about what we've been up to as of late, what's been going on in quarantainment news, and we're also going to interview you, the people.
You'll notice in our chat bar down below that our Director's Cut team members are posting a StreamYard invite link. This is for any media students and professors wishing to come on stream live and talk about their experience during this time. Please don't be shy. We'd love to have you come on and chill with us.
But for now, let's get into things. We've got a whole hour ahead of us.
So I guess we should start with the obvious. What have we all been up to? Mike, what have you been up to?
Me? Well, I've been watching a lot of movies actually over here. I just watched Raw the other night, which is this amazing French film about this vegetarian who turns into a cannibal. I'm not going to say anything else because it'll totally spoil it, but it's a really great movie if you have the stomach for it. And yeah, I mean, been watching some other stuff, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Just that and working on my senior in any way that I can. What about you guys?
Well, I've been working a lot, waking up at 7:15ish in the morning, going into work, and then I've taken breaks for my classes, and then afterwards usually watching a movie a night for various film classes that I have. So, it's been interesting. It's been fun so far. Cool. A little hectic, but kind of getting into the flow now.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys, just, working, coming home, watching TV, watching movies, kind of, passing time any way that I can. It's kind of a hard time to be a media student, but we're making do. I think we're making do.
Yeah. It's pretty cool that our work is considered essential too, with film and TV and stuff, because people really do need some of that at the end of the day to get them going and everything. Especially for a little bit of escapism right now. It's a really big thing. It's very important for people.
Yeah, personally, my big escape has been watching Tiger King, which I finished. I feel like at the end of the day, I can turn that on and tune out for a hot minute, enjoy it for a little while.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting story.
I agree wholeheartedly. This show is, I sat on my couch and just kind of watched it like this, and it brought me immense joy to know that there are crazy people out there that I think I know crazy people, and then I see actual crazy people. I'm like, oh, we're safe now.
Yeah. There's some levels to this.
There's levels to this. It's not as bad as I thought. Like, these people are that crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. That whole thing, just every time you thought it was going one way, it just sort of like took the wheel and swerved the other. It's a very wild experience, without a doubt. But other than that, I mean, it's been pretty much just a lot of media consumption, and which is good and bad for its own stuff. Been messing around with my guitar, been doing a lot of homework, a lot of professors kind of all over the place scrambling, but again, everybody's just sort of finally hitting that point where it's like, okay, we're figuring out how to operate, and like things are, at least on the management side, getting better with stuff. So that's good to see.
So I guess a question about that then, do you think it's like they finally figured out what's going on? Like, I agree. My classes are starting to feel more like they know what's happening. Do you
consistent.
Do you think that at this point, is it a little late, right? Have they kind of been like a month of nothing happening, and now we have the last month of school? It's like, all right, we finally figured it out, but like now we don't have to do anything. Like,
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Definitely, it is a little late, but it's better late than never. And also, it's good for us to be prepared for possibly even next fall. If this happens to continue, which hopefully it doesn't, but there's always a chance that it could. So it's good to know that this is an option, and we've had this experience as kind of test run if we do need to continue into the future.
Yeah. It's good to know that now we're starting to have a little bit more control over this stuff. And not only that, but there's just a general feeling of like more order and stuff, which is great, because especially in like times like this, it's like, it's good to know that no matter what, we can come together and figure it out. And that's really good to see. That's really helpful. We got the first question. Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin killed her husband 1,000%. Nobody in the universe could convince me she did it.
Can we say that on Director's Cut? Is that
Director's Cut exclusive, confirmed by us? Carol Baskin killed her husband.
It's pretty interesting. I really want the story to continue. Going back to this, I really want the story to continue because I feel like they left us on such a cliffhanger. It's such a good documentary work. Looking at Netflix and how they kind of try to draw you in. It's just so interesting.
All right, so it looks like we're actually being joined by Spencer Wright here, senior film student at Hofstra University, who's going to come on as a guest and have a conversation with us. Spencer, how you doing?
Hey, Spencer. What's going on? I missed you, dude.
I saw you in class today.
Yeah, it's not like the three of us.
Yeah.
Just in the class.
Yeah. You had your camera off, though. I keep pointing in the wrong direction. I forget that this is mirrored. You had your camera off, though.
Did I?
So I'm happy to see you now. You and your beautiful face. How are you doing, Spencer?
Good. I am in my basement. This is where I do all my sound work.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say your microphone quality is amazing.
Yeah, I have a Blue Yeti with me today.
Nice.
I have like a bunch of tools that I have down here, and I've been kind of just building up my catalog. I basically wake up before anyone else is awake just so I can come down here and make some noises.
It's always
you would think
making noises.
Yeah. Now, do you hit record before you do that, or?
Sometimes I just stand around here and I start clapping and chanting.
Is there any specific purpose other than just building up your catalog for capturing these sounds?
I'm kind of giving myself a few goals when looking at what, because I'm a graduating senior, what jobs they're looking for and what they're looking for you to be able to do and what programs they're looking for you to be able to use. One thing I've been doing is trying to build soundscapes. i.e. I'll take a room. Generally, I go for stock footage, and I will try to take silent stock footage, and I will try to make the noises that would come along with them.
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
Try to make the entire room and everything that you would hear. So
Brendan says, "How have all your RTF classes been running?" Well, let's start with Spencer. The guest, Spencer. How have your production classes been moving?
I got a pretty wide range of how professors are taking it. I have I'll post a video or maybe I'll post a slideshow every once in a while to every single class. You need to log in, lock down your screen, and have a camera pointed at your entire body the entire class. One of the two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like a really big...
Oh, my gosh.
You can continue.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going to say, it's definitely, even though there is a little bit more order and consistency with how professors are handling things, there definitely is a little bit of extra work to be put in with the production classes. Because especially with the thesis projects and the directing projects, there's just so much work that needs to be done in terms of how we're going to handle this footage that we already have, or how we're going to handle this audio we already have, or how we're going to handle filming stuff in the future even. And it's a lot of new prep work. Oh, there's Guy in the chat.
Hello, Guy. I guess that's kind of a question I have for the two of you down here on the bottom. is how has the senior thesis stuff been running? How has that been going? That's stressful for a lot of people.
Collaboration becomes really hard for people in post-production, and for people that were attempting to do production. The professors have given a few different options for us, but it's not like an easy decision to make right now. And some kind of like the decision you make now can be unimpactful. It means nothing. If I say I'm going to do A, doesn't mean I'm going to be doing A. I could be doing B, C, or D.
Personally, while you guys have been senior thesis, I'm currently in 47 right now, which is intermediate production. And that's been interesting as well, because we were just finally finalizing our scripts and creating, storyboards and things like that. And now we can't really shoot our films right now. We're kind of having to supplement that with other things. So it's interesting.
What are they supplementing it with?
Right now we're the plan is to shoot with Lego figures or action figures that you have, so you can kind of get an understanding of lighting and how to properly light things. It's definitely not ideal, but it's interesting. And I feel like also if you have family members in your house, then you should probably use them as stand-ins, even though they're not going to be the quality of actor that you're probably looking for. But, you still get to work with them, direct them, and craft the light and shoot something. So that's more valuable than nothing.
Nothing mimics the contours of the human face quite like a Lego figurine. So
yeah.
So similar jaw lines. It's pretty close. As close as you can get, I think.
Well, I actually do think that it really will end up pushing our boundaries as filmmakers working in like these conditions, even shooting stuff on an iPhone with just like not even any actors. Maybe your star's a cup of coffee that you like hand animate by doing stop motion and stuff. I really do think that it's going to make some interesting things. And I think that if we end up doing it maybe for fun on the side, outside of Alex, senior thesis be crazy. Yeah, it's true. It do be crazy. But if we end up doing this stuff on the side just for our own entertainment, that could yield some really interesting film stuff for when we get out, some great ideas. And I do think that it's situations like this that really push us to innovate. And that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of writing. There's going to be a lot of people doing writing over the next month or so. So when people come out, everyone's going to have a super refined script, and everyone's going to be asking you, "Hey, can you be my gaffer for my next film?" And you're going to say yes because you haven't been on a shoot in 3 months.
Yeah. Justin Moore asks, any productions that you're missing right now? Totally. I was signed on for like a production a weekend, man. Some during those weeks too. And I gotta say, I miss all you guys a lot. I miss seeing like the people watching this. I miss seeing the people that I'm in the chat with. I don't know. I was like, being on set is so much fun and it's so important. And if you're watching this and you haven't been on a set before, even if you're a TV student, get on some film sets. It's a lot of fun. And it's a experience that you can learn a lot from, with something new with every set, I think.
So Mark Heron says, a lot of experience you get from 47 translates not only senior class, but also classes like directing and cinematography. So do we think that it's setting people back? Do we think there's now like a gap almost in the Hofstra film students? If like they didn't finish their foundation classes, so it's going to be harder for them going on? Or is that on teachers to kind of account for?
You see, personally, being in a 47 class, I really think it's what you make of it. It definitely is a really tough time, but you can put in work and you can watch, read, experiment with iPhone cameras, or whatever camera you have accessible, because, pretty much right now any smartphone has a pretty good camera to shoot with. So just kind of experiment and try different things out and try to learn and kind of make the best of what you have.
Yeah. Oh, big thing. The library's pretty open right now with what videos they've been putting up. Like they've been pretty liberal with, so you can catch a surprising amount of movies that the library has put up for anyone to view. The other day I found it was like a 10-part course from, I don't even remember which professor it was from some university, talking about like special camera movements. I just stumbled upon it looking for like Shadow of a Doubt, and I just ended up stumbling upon this movie, or not, this entire series on camera movements. So if you look and like you go into like the resources right now, they've just like opened up their catalog. You can just like type in anything and you'll find like 10-part video series
That's
just
awesome.
stacked.
Wow.
So like a lot of your classes at Hofstra are what you make of them. And so if you have your class period and you're not doing anything during it, just hop on and spend that time just jumping to the library and finding some videos to watch.
Yeah, I should also say that the Adobe made their suite free for students right now up until the end of May because of what's going on. So if you're a film student and if your laptop's capable, definitely look into getting that and see if you can like cut something together. Even if it's just stock footage and you're working with effects, it's very cool.
Tractor Scott says, what do you miss most about being on campus? Well, I guess we can go around the horn here. Spencer, what do you miss?
Don't start with me. I've been talking enough. Let's go with someone else.
Mike, what do you miss?
I miss my friends, man. I miss the homies. That's the biggest thing. And I know that sounds kind of like a joke answer, but genuinely, I miss the camaraderie in our projects. Just seeing people every day working in the equipment room, stopping over there. It's really special to be able to share that college experience with other people, and it's definitely hard feeling kind of separated. What about you, Matt?
I think I'd have to agree. It's got to be the people, right? You go walk into a building every day full of people who have similar goals as you and kind of with the same drive and ambition that you have, and it's definitely motivating to be surrounded by those people. So I think that now you're at home, there's not really that same energy around. It's harder to stay motivated. So I definitely miss the people, I think.
Yeah. Spencer, what about you? Whichever Spencer wants to have a swing at it.
I guess we'll keep going. I miss walking around campus and chatting with random people, friends, acquaintances, and just seeing what's going on in their classes, how their semester is going, and kind of transferring ideas. I really miss that a lot. And definitely motivation is a really big thing. It's been hard to get back in the groove of things and to really get motivated again, especially after having that week where we were kind of, are we going back to school after spring break? Are we not? And then we had spring break. So that 2 weeks really took me out for a little while, but now I'm getting back into being motivated.
That's good.
I miss just like laying on the floor of the equipment room and screaming. Like, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I'm still paying rent. I'm not paying for like utilities. Obviously, no one's there, but I'm still paying rent at my house, and I have like a lot of stuff in there. And I'm kind of just sitting here like, when am I even going to go back? Because it's kind of like people are saying that they might not even have like fall classes at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. First of all, if they're not having fall classes, when am I moving out of my house? It's my lease ends in May. Like, who's going to take up the house if no one's going to be there in the fall? So it's kind of like this weird uncertainty is really scary.
Peter Gershon says, Spencer, what library are you talking about? He's talking about the library reading the videos and stuff.
Yeah, the electronic library that we have online. If you go to I guess if you go to Blackboard even and you just scroll down, you'll see like library resources. You click that and you go to search. You can have a bunch of different resources that Hofstra has pretty open up. So always feel free to jump in there. And surprisingly, I think the technicians are still working. So if you have questions, just jump on, send emails. People are trying to work as much as they can these days. Some people work better from home. So
I guess the point is if you're nervous that you're taking like a foundation course, like something like 47 or your lower level course, and you're nervous that you're not going to get the same information and you're going to be lost, the information is still available to you and you should definitely seek it out. I know, and obviously professors and stuff will be understanding, and you can email anybody and they'll help you, I swear. I promise. It's not as bad as
Yeah, definitely make sure you go to all your resources for any help that you guys need with stuff, because believe it or not, a lot of people are out there working and are very helpful with that stuff.
Tech
is still on the job.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Shout out to EdTech. Thank you, EdTech.
I want to point out that half of your college learning is how much you can do with the resources the school provides. The school provides a lot of resources. You can ask professors questions. They're pretty knowledgeable. You ask other students things. They're pretty knowledgeable as well. You go to the library, you can get your research. I only really learned that in my end of my sophomore year. I was like, oh, I got to like put the work and effort into this. I really do.
Yeah.
Information doesn't just show up in my brain. What is this?
Yeah. And there are no dumb questions, really. I would ask some things that would feel incredibly apparent, that felt to me like they should have been incredibly apparent, whether it be about camera operation or just general equipment operation or how a set works together. Like, what does the DP do? What does G&E do? What does, all of these individual roles and stuff? And it never hurts that.
What did you just
call
this?
Never hurts that.
What did you just call this?
I believe that's a 247. I have the one that you and Kat and everybody signed over in the other room. I look at it every other day. I miss it.
Director's Cut says, if you could describe being at home as a movie, which movie would you pick and why?
Ooh.
Whatever Jared Crom is making.
Whatever that movie is.
Yeah.
For those of you not in the know, Jared Crom is making a film called Cabin Fever. We finished production on it where we went up to Vermont and we filmed in this wonderful, wonderful snowed-in cabin. And the crew spent a lot of time inside. And I think the production of it kind of felt like a precursor to this in its own way. So,
Mike, for me, that was the last set that I was on, and I actually happened to be with you. So I really, it's a special place in my heart.
That was special for me too.
Sabrina says, do any of y'all have good film recommendations to watch in this quarantine? What are our big film recommendations?
Oh, and Elizabeth asks a question in a similar vein that we've been watching a lot of movies recommendations. For me, if you guys like horror, definitely go for Raw. I was talking about it earlier. It's this Belgian-French movie about a girl who she's a vegetarian, and she goes off to veterinary school, and somewhere along the line, cannibalism gets involved. It's a very good movie, I swear. Parasite just went up on Hulu too, and that's a fantastic film if you haven't gotten a chance to see that.
I pray you all find work. No. God bless Nona.
God bless Nona.
For those who don't know, Nona is Mike's grandmother, and she prays that in our heart, she prays that we find work as TV and film students, and I pray that we find work too. Nona is very knowledgeable. So
yes, thank you, Nona.
What is the best Amy Adams movie, and why is it Arrival? Ben Kessler, I've never seen Arrival. Amy Adams was in Superman. Right?
I was gonna say Arrival, but I only know Arrival. So
Spencer Wright, what would you say? Spencer Wright, what would you say?
For quarantine movie?
For quarantine movie.
Why can't it be the same?
So I've been taking both the suburban gothic and the 80s genre class this semester. So I kind of haven't had a choice. I'm watching like 3 movies a week, like regardless of what I want to do. The only 2 movies I've gotten in that haven't been required have been The Lighthouse, which I think is very fitting for what we're going through right now, and going insane, having no idea what day of the week it is, and Ford versus Ferrari for that tasty sound layering and sound design.
The best Amy Adams movie is Enchanted. I've also never seen Enchanted, so I guess I'm just not an Amy Adams fan. That's a personal.
Enchanted is a banger. You should watch it.
It is.
Matt,
yeah.
I recommend you open up IMDb for Amy Adams right now and just go down the list.
Spencer, I dug this hole for myself. I'm gonna sit in here for a little while at least. I'm sorry, Amy.
All right. Well, all that being said, and all that wonderful Amy Adams talk and quarantine movie talk, Spencer, it's been fantastic to have you. It's been fantastic to see you again. thank you so much for coming out to speak with us. All right. This is a new format, so sometimes people just vanish.
It feels way more aggressive when people just vanish compared to on the actual set when people just kind of walk away. You know, this is like, oh, they're here one moment, next they're gone.
Yeah. But that being said, another question. Do you guys think that the release of films onto streaming platforms are going to be affected long term by what's happening now? Do you guys have anything to say?
I don't know about long term. I think obviously we're moving towards streaming, right? But most movies are still going to release in the theaters. I think that's kind of like the dream, you know, as a young filmmaker. Like I want to have a movie in the movie theater people are going to go see. So I think that the films will always kind of be in the movies, but I think that definitely now it's releasing right to streaming might be a thing for a while. So I don't think studios are going to push back dates and keep pushing it back, because they're going to lose a bunch of money with like these $100 million movies sitting on the shelf, you know. So eventually they'll cave and they'll release them on a streaming platform. But I think that for the time being, I think movie theaters are here to stay. I think.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think that after all of this, I honestly believe that will be kind of a rebirth of going out to the movie theater. You know, more people are going to want to go. It's going to feel special again. It's going to, I don't know. People are going to get tired of sitting at home and watching movies. People are going to want to go out, have the experience of grabbing popcorn, you know, sitting down, being with people. I was listening today to a podcast with a critic from the New York Times, a film critic, and she was saying how much she really, really misses it. And it feels like a piece of her life is completely gone. And I can completely agree. There's nothing like the energy of sitting in a room with a bunch of random people having the same emotion, same experience, you know, staring up at the screen. It's huge. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It'll never go away.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I also agree with that. Alex Hirsch. Oh, I missed the question.
It was what does the theater experience offer that you can't get at home?
I would say it's the community. I think that there's an unspoken bond between people, and I think that that's really important. Don't get me wrong. I think that streaming is awesome, especially for how accessible it is to people who don't have the means to go out or might not have the money to go out to see a bunch of movies. I think that streaming is a awesome development. But I do think that, there is something so special about going out there and like enjoying and engaging with a film with a crowd of people. It's the conversations after that are so
there's nothing quite like sitting with your friends in a movie theater all watching the same movie and something crazy happens and you like do that little double take to them and you're like, what did I just watch? And then the walk out of the theater where you're all just kind of like the lights are coming on and you're not really sure and you're just talking to each other about the movie and all the way to the parking lot to your car, all the way home. There's nothing quite like on streaming. You watch the movie and you can watch it together, but then you just turn the TV off. And now what? You don't have that.
I have a question for you two.
Yeah.
I have a question for you two. Have you guys ever been to the movies alone?
Yes, I have. And you know what? I would say that it still feels better than streaming it at home most of the time. Because, again, it's that shared experience and that big IMAX screen, this insane sound setup where it's like moving all around you. And even when you go to smaller art house theaters, it's still just a special experience. It's like going to another world. I really love that stuff. I really do.
Justin Moore says, are there any delayed films you're really missing?
Oh, yes. Yes. James Bond, No Time to Die. My heart, I just wanted to see it so bad, especially because Netflix has released so many 007 films in the past month. I just want to go and see the newest one so bad. And also because they put out that Billie Eilish song and they got it already. I was seeing all the ads and then no, cut off.
The hype was there. Shout out to Matt for cleaning his room. And Brandon agrees.
I put the black tie event. I had to show out. I had to clean the room up, take the stuff off the book. That's what my carpet looks like. I didn't know that. I forgot.
That's crazy. I really like the hat on your bed. I think that's kind of like the centerpiece for me personally.
Ooh.
If you throw that on, smooth criminal.
Stylish.
Thank you.
We love to see it. We really do.
Mike,
Have you guys?
what movies are you missing, Mike?
What movies have I been missing?
Yeah, that they delayed.
I gotta just go right along with Spencer with 007 because it's like the hype was there, the train was going, and then it just stopped. So that's kind of where my heart was. But there's other movies that have been possibly further delayed, like Tenet, the Chris Nolan movie, and I was like really excited for that. But it is what it is. I think we have another guest actually. So without further ado,
Hi.
Christian Miller.
How's it going?
It's going good. How are you, Christian?
Doing really good. Best as anyone can right now,
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess Christian, you're the perfect person to have this conversation we were having with Spencer earlier about foundation classes. Do you think how are you're a freshman, right? So how are your early film classes going? How are they transitioning to Zoom?
I actually got really lucky. I wasn't in too many hands-on production classes when everything happened. I was in 25, which is now online. And we watch videos on how to edit, and then we do it on our own. But I know a few people who are in 24, 27, things like that. And some of them are just doing videos on their phone, stuff like that. Others are just trying to learn about the process of filmmaking, things like that. I know it's really difficult, and I feel really bad because you're not getting that hands-on experience. But Hofstra really is, I think, doing the best they can.
I definitely agree that they're trying the best they can. But I guess, do you think that are you going to follow what Spencer said earlier and kind of go and look for the information on your own, or do you think that you're going to have an okay time adjusting next semester, like when you go into higher level classes with this? You're supposed to have the knowledge you had from 27 and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that some of it, I guess, you're going to go more help. Look things up and look out resources that the university offers as well as the internet. But also, I feel like some of the professors might be a bit more understanding because they know this is a worldwide thing. There really is no avoiding it or getting around it. So I feel like the professors should be a bit more understanding about it. And I think it's a little weird if they wouldn't be.
Right.
So they might spend some more time maybe going over things. That's what I think. But I don't really know. It's just what I hope.
Brandon Casson says, do you think that not being in a classroom setting will affect your editing development long term?
I feel like right now, yeah, but I'm a pretty optimistic person, and I feel like I can make up for the lost time somehow, because there are so many resources out there and so many people at the university, as well as other students who I'm friends with, that I know would be willing to help me out and learn and make up for lost time. So definitely, I feel like I can make up for it. Just maybe that's more of a long run thing.
Yeah. Oh, on the other side of it, Ben Kessler asks, if you could only pick one streaming service to have right now, which would you choose and why? So, do you have any preferences, Christian?
Ooh, I've been on Netflix a lot lately because Tiger King came out, and I wasn't gonna watch it, but then everyone else watched it, so here I am.
Yeah.
But I've been on Hulu a lot too lately because I watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So maybe that. It's my favorite show, so I'd have to stick with that.
Do you have a favorite episode of Always Sunny? Just out of my own personal curiosity.
I feel like so many people say Charlie Work, but I'm gonna say
that's a good one.
I'm gonna say Charlie McDennis Electric Boogaloo.
Dude,
that's just classic.
Best episode is The Nightman Cometh, and any
of
other
course.
answer is correct. So I'm sorry that it's the Electric Boogaloo, but The Nightman Cometh is I want to recreate that.
I'm sorry, Christian. You failed director's cut. I apologize.
And for that reason, I'm out.
Yeah, Mike. What have you been? What would you say is your most valuable streaming service?
So here's the thing: is that I kind of flop back and forth with streaming services. A lot of the times, I just end up buying a movie off of Amazon because it's not on anything. Not because I watch obscure movies, but because sometimes I'm lazy and Amazon's $2. So
Do
Yeah.
Do you have the app Just Watch?
I don't have the app Just Watch.
You should get Just Watch. You can search any movie and it will tell you what streaming services it's on or where you can purchase it online for rent. So it's really, check it out.
I definitely will look into that. That'll help out a lot. Yeah, sometimes I just like expanding the digital library to feel like I kind of own the thing, even though you don't really own things when you have them digitally. But it's nice to look into that. So I definitely will download that app. Thank you, Spencer.
Director Scott says, how do you feel about possibly combining this year's senior films with next year's senior films at the Hofstra Film Festival? That's a good question. Mike, you're president senior here. How do you think?
Yeah, I actually heard that the Seniors Film Festival is there's going to be one in the fall and one in the spring. But in the case that fall doesn't happen, they'll both be in the spring, which will be pretty crazy because right now my senior class has one of the biggest in terms of numbers. So that might end up being a multiple day thing. So it should be interesting.
Elizabeth says, is there anything positive, anything you can think of about the state of the world and how it might be affecting you personally or as a student? Looking for positivity.
All right, who wants to take this question first? Christian?
Yeah, sure, I could take it. So as far as positivity in the future of the world, I don't know. I like I said, I'm more of an optimistic person, so I feel like things can go pretty good in the long run for us. I know things look really bad right now, but I feel like as a student, especially with Hofstra's resources, there will be a way to come back from this. I know as a freshman, I have a lot of time to work on that, and other people might not. But I'd like to think that, it'll be a little more lenient and like people will understand that we had a harder time learning and things like that and might be able to help us a bit more, not even just at the school, but professionally too.
Yeah. Without a doubt. I think that people are going to be definitely very understanding coming out of this time period, which is great. And I think that in general, like we'll probably be able to like build up routines better. We'll probably be a little bit more appreciative of that stuff. I definitely just the last week I've been doing a lot more just in a schedule-based way to keep my own sanity. So I think that a lot of people might be able to take away some really positive behavioral things from this.
I also think it'll make our communities stronger as well, because right now, being in self-isolation, we're not able to see each other and other community members, and we're not even able to see our Hofstra community. So I think that overall we'll just be stronger and more appreciative of ourselves and trying to, bring each other up and excelling together.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that there's a lot of you see a lot of cynicism online, right? Whether it be on Twitter or whatever forum you're on. But I recently, as what has been going on, you see more people like being caring towards each other and like really like kind of nice and polite, and it's like a very nice change for the internet to have. You can only imagine how that's going to carry over when people are actually seeing each other, and like imagine how it's going to be when you walk over to one of your best friends' places or whatever and you see them right after this. You're gonna dude, I'm gonna be bawling. Like I'm gonna be bawling. I feel it coming on. I'm just I think that we're all going to be able to take away like a good appreciation for each other. I agree with that, Spencer.
I definitely think it's going to make us more appreciative of what we have. Like when we go back to school and stuff, and the people that we're friends with, and the things we have access to that we just kind of don't at home. I'm definitely going to be more appreciative of my friends and things, and I think that's a positive we can take away. I don't know if there's anything to take away while it's going on, but I think that the aftermath, on a personal level at least, I think we'll come out of it better. Hopefully.
Yeah. Definitely. So, what have you guys been up to recently in terms of your general routines and stuff? How has your day-to-day been going?
my days bleed into one another, and it's hard to tell them apart. So I don't know if I have a daily routine. I go to work when my alarm tells me to, and
Okay, fair.
I wake up and go to class sometimes, play video games,
Yeah,
watch TV, go back to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, Matt, talking about class, what are your classes like? Are they all Zoom, or do you have audio lectures? Do you have PowerPoints? What's going on? I guess that's actually a valid question for all of you.
So all my classes are Zoom. I don't think I have any that aren't, that chose not to do at least some online stuff. But most of my classes are, like, I have to take RTO 84, which is nonfiction production, so that is kind of different, right? But I have the other stuff is like a script writing class, which you're writing scripts. It's the same thing on Zoom as it was in class. So I kind of lucked out. History class is kind of the same. I sort of lucked out, but most of my classes are being held on Zoom, and the transition's been fine for me at least.
Mm-hmm.
Christian, I was wondering, how do you think that your curriculum is going to change going forward from this event? Like, do you think it's going to speed up maybe with all the new stuff that you got to like really cram in? Or do you think it's going to be a little bit more relaxed, that teachers are going to be possibly a little bit more forgiving with stuff?
I think at first, fall semester, well, I mean, most importantly, it all depends if we go back in the fall. I'd like to think we're going to, but, if not, then we're missing 2 semesters, which is a lot of time. But if we do go back in the fall, I think at first professors will definitely be more forgiving. But by the time it gets to spring semester, I'd like to think they'd be totally back to, normal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And Christian, how does it feel to possibly never get a snow day in your college career? Because now that we have Zoom, I can only think that they're just going to say, school's canceled, but we're still going to have Zoom.
Damn.
I did not even think about that. Oh,
if there are any Hofstra professors watching this live stream, Spencer was joking. He was making a joke. That's not a suggestion.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
My question for Christian about curriculum is: do you think that the burden is on this semester or next? Like, do you think that the professors teaching courses this semester have to try to get all that knowledge into your head, or is it on next semester for them to kind of make up for this one?
In a perfect world, I'd say it's this semester, but I don't really know. I feel like a lot of next semester is going to be playing catch up and things like that.
Justin Moore says, do you think the resiliency and adaptability of filmmakers is helping many of us get through these times?
I would say that, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, people are getting creative with their art and stuff, and I see YouTubers making stuff on their own all the time that's actually very interesting, and I would call that filmmaking, and that entertainment's very important to me. I find myself watching like 1-hour documentaries all the time on YouTube when I'm just like cleaning up or whatever. I just always have stuff on in the background, and it's like that stuff is always different. I mean, maybe it might have similar what do they call it? The icons, clickbait. Sure,
yeah,
it might have similar clickbait, but the content's different from creator to creator, and I really appreciate that, and I do think that that's helping.
Mm-hmm. And I also think.
Go ahead, Spencer.
I also think right now is a great time for film history too. We have so much free time. Well, some of us have a lot of free time to be able to watch movies. It's a great time for us, and catching up on things that we otherwise might not catch up on, and also reading. We can do quite a bit of reading, which is great.
Brendan Casson says, I would like to think that professors would like to enjoy their snow days as much as students. You would think.
Yeah.
And some do, but there's also the ones that are like, that just, Professor Gershon, please, we're begging you.
He's smiling. He's smiling.
Some professors would be like, yeah, it's a snow day, but some of them would be like, who think that there's on a time crunch from the very beginning, they would definitely have Zoom classes, because that's just the way it is, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess back to the previous point, I want to make a quick little point there, is that I think us as filmmakers and creatives are a little better off, because we have like an outlet, you know, kind of sitting in a vacuum right now, but we have something to do. Like we can always be creating something or having ideas for something. Where someone who's not a creative type, you know, would is probably way more bored than we could possibly be. Because if we get super bored, we can funnel it somewhere. We have something to do. Like if I get bored, I can sit down and write something. But I think other people don't really have that. So I think that's an advantage we have.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think that sharing those things that we make ends up helping everybody else out, which I think is a very, I mean, I wouldn't call it altruistic, but it's very kind of people to do, to make something, to have something like a burst of inspiration and ambition from inside of them and then share it with other people. I think that universal experiences like that are super important to keeping people like together. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you guys been watching TikToks at all?
Oh, we're going to get this right already?
Yes, I've been watching my fair share of TikTok, Spencer. Why? Why are you asking me?
Because right now we're kind of seeing a rise of will TikTok become a more respected medium than film within the next 2 months? No.
I would argue
I would argue in some respects it might be.
Is Charlie D'Amelio the next Martin Scorsese? And why is the answer yes?
Well, I mean, have you guys seen Quibi? Have you seen that application yet?
I've seen the.
I heard of it. Yeah.
Can you explain it to me? I'm unaware.
I was hoping somebody here could explain it because I don't really know much about it either. I just know it's kind of short form, like TikTok in a way, where you get 2 minutes or maybe 5 minutes of some sort of short story and then it's over and you can move on with your day. I think.
Whoa.
I'm not really sure.
That's interesting. I will look into that. That sounds pretty cool.
The only thing that I know about Quibi is that they're trying to change unit of time to us understanding what a Quibi is, and I don't like it. I don't like being told how to think. So,
our producer Nerese says it's free for 90 days. So just so you guys know that. She also says it's cool stuff.
Hashtag ad. This is not an ad. We're not sponsored.
This is not
but it's not TikTok. It's not TikTok.
We're not sponsored by anyone as of yet. But honey, if you're out there, if you're watching,
hit me up.
We would like to do a director's cut hide and seek edition. That would be amazing. You know, something like that. So honey, please.
So honey, please. I beg you. We're looking for sponsors. I can't believe it took us 45 minutes to start talking about TikTok. That was impressive.
Yeah, we held off for a while. Brendan says it's short form television shows formatted for cell phones. If you're referring to TikToks, I have to disagree because singing in cursive is not.
I didn't like anything about that sentence. Short form television formatted for cell phones. That whole sentence made me upset deeply. So I don't think I'm a Quibi fan, unless. In which case, I will see y'all in a Quibi.
All right. On that note, Christian, thank you so much for coming to talk with us. I know we got sidetracked towards the end, but I think that we really got to speak about a lot of interesting things from your end of things with the curriculum and everything. And I'm glad that you're doing well and you're watching Always Sunny.
Yeah, so, thank you. I'm glad you guys are doing well too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. Ciao for now. That one was that was a good send off that time. It wasn't that aggressive.
That was really good.
All right. Peter Gershon says, content takes 3 forms: movies and chapters, exactly what it sounds like, short, unscripted series, documentaries, and daily essentials, news and lifestyle programming in quick bite form. So what do you think about that? I guess what he's saying is the movies and chapters is kind of serialized TV, right? Like,
yeah,
like Game of Thrones, where it's like this long episodic thing that's kind of taking itself into pieces. Then stuff like the news, and then things like Tiger King almost, right? Like these docu-series.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
Even like fictional stuff, like like the Marvel movies have been doing that for a long time, and it's not my favorite because I do like standalone things, movies like The Lighthouse that are just like weird, and there's definitely no room for a sequel or anything. I like that stuff, and though I'm not definitely not opposed to episodic stuff. I love my TV. I hope that one thing doesn't become dominant, but I do love it.
Yeah, I will give it a chance, definitely. But I short form, not really my thing personally. And also, Mike, you don't want to see what happens to that seagull in the future.
You know, I think I've seen enough. I think that movie. I think that movie showed me everything that I needed to see. And so I think I need a second viewing, but I don't think I need a second film.
Mike is far too much of a film bro to ever watch anything that's a sequel. He'll never watch anything two. It'll never ever happen. He's like, no, this is.
That's a lie. Shrek 2 is the best sequel of all time. Shrek 2 is the best. I will argue that as an objective fact.
Fact.
Yeah.
Brendan Castle wants to know, how long do you think a Quibi is? I think a Quibi is more than a foot, but less than a mile.
It's probably more than you would think, but less than you would expect.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to shift to, what will the future of the world look like for media, entertainment?
Wow, that's a big question. Feel that one. Spencer Fowler, do you want to try that out?
That is a really tough question. There are so many things to break down into, I guess. Media, entertainment, that's pretty large. I focus on film, so realistically, I can only sort of speak for the films in a way, in which I think things will return to normal. Hopefully, streaming services will continue to be the same sort of presence that they have. Movie theaters will regain that presence, and I think that movie theaters also will begin to adopt the sort of movie pass idea of. Yeah. Sort of like a subscription to be able to go to the movie theater X amount of times a week, just as AMC is doing with Stubbs A-List. And I think Regal Cinemas is doing with something. So I think we'll see that rise more, since streaming services right now are the only form of entertainment other than television,
Yeah, where you can get like multiple forms of content at once, whereas theaters, it's you buy once, unless with the pass. And I do think that pass is a kind of an inevitable development, except for, again, with like little mom and pop theaters, probably. But even then, maybe, who's to say? Not me.
I think the real question is that we've kind of been shifting towards streaming for a long time now, right? Like media as a whole has been making the move to more, binge-worthy stuff and moving towards streaming platforms. Do we think that this specific event, this quarantine, will affect it anyway, or are we still just kind of moving at the same pace towards streaming?
I think we'll see a momentary bump, and then we'll go back to normal. When everything evens out, I think we'll go back to normal. But it's almost inevitable that streaming will take over, which is sad to say.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we keep our mom and pop theaters. I really do, because they're very important to me. Like, I don't know. Even if you're watching like a big name movie there, it's just like a very wholesome experience. And I would be sad to see it go.
I agree with you. But I also think of video rental stores. Video rental stores were so big when we were children. You had Blockbuster, you had the mom and pop shops. And then Redbox came in, and Redbox took those out because Redbox was cheaper. And then Redbox then started to fade away as video on demand and internet got more accessible. So I kind of fear that could happen. But of course, there are still mom and pop video stores open. So there will always be movie theaters no matter what. I think movie theaters will be around for the long run.
Justin Moore said, need a sequel. Need is a strong word here.
All right.
As like Lighthouse, we need a sequel. I need Lighthouse.
No, I don't know about that. Now, Cars 2.2, that could get a sequel. That could get.
Cars 2 needs a sequel. Is there already Cars 3?
Yeah, there's Cars 3.
There's Cars 3, but that's not a sequel, okay? That's the third one in the movie, but I need a direct sequel to Cars 2, one that takes the canon of Cars 2 and moves over Cars 2.1.
I think another Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. We got the sequel, we got Chipwreck. What else is there? I think they stopped beating that dead horse a little too early. I think there's still something to be had there.
Yeah, I think Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Mortal Kombat does have a sequel, but I'll go for another without a doubt.
I think of Mario Bros. What would it be, 3? Because didn't they make a sequel?
I doubt it. The first one was so horrible. I doubt they made a sequel. It's possible.
How could you say that? All right, but I know. But let's try to think of some serious answers. What are some standalone movies that you guys really love?
I mean,
that you guys.
Avatar. We need that Avatar 2. We need that sweet Avatar 2 now, please.
No.
Yes.
But you mean
seriously.
James Cameron Avatar? Yeah.
Yeah, they're not the last Airbender. Come on now, don't disrespect me like that, Mike.
M. Night Shyamalan. Come on, Mike. What are you thinking, man?
I don't know, dude.
But on a real note, I really, really, really would love to see. I wouldn't love to see it, but I think something that could be possible would be The Social Network 2 or a sequel to The Social Network. Since so many things have happened with Facebook in the past few years, kind of revisiting that would be really interesting. And if they could bring David Fincher back and Aaron Sorkin, my heart.
You know,
and Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, please.
Now that you say that, I think that if documentaries were to get like consistently updated with like new information and stuff like that, like not updated but new episodes. Okay, episodic documentaries might really work.
Oh my gosh!
Listen, Tiger King was very important.
Can you recall your favorite theater experience?
Ooh.
Well, I can start. I don't have like a one specific theater experience, but I definitely remember going to. I used to go to the movies every Wednesday with my aunt. She would take me and my cousins to the movies, and I remember just like being so excited all the time to go see it. And I think that it's that feeling that like that even as a kid, you're like, I'm gonna go to the movies and see a movie. Like there's nothing that really matches that. I think so. My favorite experience was being young and going with my aunt and being very excited.
That's really sweet. Spencer, you want to go next?
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. That's a really tough question because I've had a lot of moments at the movie theater. You know, movie theaters are kind of like my second home in a weird way. But I would say Avatar was pretty incredible seeing that in IMAX. I will never forget going to see Avatar in 3D and IMAX. It was just such a spectacle. It was. You just truly felt like you were transported into a different world. And being 9 at the time and having not gone to any amusement parks, this was the closest I'd gotten to it. So it was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I would have to. I'm inclined to agree. I have 2, but I'll make them both really quick. The first one would be I went to see Ant-Man at this old shabby theater by my house, South Bay Cinemas. It's reopening soon, hopefully. I was watching Ant-Man and one of the tiles just fell out from behind me from the ceiling and busted a chair right at the beginning of the movie, and I decided to stay anyways. But my real answer would be probably when my dad took me to see Iron Man, because that was like the first time I really went to go to a movie theater just for that like experience, and because we could have watched it like at home or something. He had a copy that he got from some guy, but we went and saw it and it was really special. Wow. All right, guys.
Well, on that note, we sincerely hope you all enjoyed tonight's live stream. We got a little joy out of it during these times, as did everybody involved here.
Very fortunately, we've got one more episode this semester that will be featuring Hofstra Film student seniors who will talk about the impact of COVID-19 on their senior thesis films. Make sure to tune into our next live stream, which is on May 7th at 7:30 p.m.
And before we go, we'd like to give a special thanks to our wonderful guests that came onto the show. David Henney, the mastermind behind getting us the technical means to produce the episode. Dean Luke for continuing to inspire our creativity every single day. Dr. Peter Gershon for his constant love and support for not only the show, but the Heat Network. And thank you all for tuning in and watching. It means so much to us.
And with that, I'm Spencer Fowler.
I'm Mike Grosso.
I'm Matt Ellington. This has been Director's
And
Cut.
the
This has
director's
been
cut.
Director's Cut.
Stay
Wait,
inside.
one more time.
One more time.
One more time. All right. This has been
This has been
Director's Cut.
Director's
Cut.
I think we
Nice.
got it that time.
Yeah. All right. Stay inside, stay healthy, stay safe, and have a good night, everybody. Woo!
Director's